All right, I am live. I'm here. I want to make sure. Yeah. Okay. So I think I am set. I think I'm good. Um. So, hello, everybody. Good morning. Today we are going to be discussing of what happened on Raw and what happened on NXT. And I'm kind of disappointed at Raw, as not as much as NXT because NXT's been doing fine. But I mean, the content on NXT is kind of getting a little dry, and I can see the cracks within this dryness. So again, Raw's got to step it up. Um, NXT, I see some I see some dry spots. I see some cracks within your content. So I think a little change up would be nice. But anyway, let's just jump right into it, man. So I'm sorry if you can hear a fan. It's I know it's kind of weird, but you know, hopefully I'm gonna try to push it away a little bit. Okay. So Raw went down like this. You open up a show with, you know, a recap of RK Bro, and then you end it with a confrontation with Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. Not to mind you, they have, two women matches in, the junction of Raw as well. So, again, if you have seen Raw, then you kind of, you don't really need to, come on here. But I'm doing it for the sake of it because there are people who usually don't watch Raw and probably don't even want to listen to Raw. But I will give you the backstory on NXT. So first, let's talk about Raw. Get that out the way. So we opened up with obviously, RK Bro. I guess start kicking us off, and I kind of like it. And what I really liked the most of the first start, I really liked the opening. In the first start of it, we had our, Randy Orton coming out, you know, and as he was talking about going back to being the killer, the legend killer, going back to being this, Randy Orton, he's going to, you know, hit everyone he sees that comes in his path with the most three dangerous letters in sports entertainment, RK. And before he could say, oh, bro. And it was perfectly timed, perfectly executed. So I will give WWE credit just for that opening alone. So, RK Bro, I guess is a thing. So what's gonna happen is that we got Riddle coming out. He confronts Orton, tells him like, "Oh, Randy, like I know, you know, you just hit me with RKO last week. It was probably just to teach me a lesson how to do it because I was doing it poorly, and I understand that, Randy, but you're back, man. I missed you. I used to always look up to the sky and be like, I miss you, Randy. Always thinking you're probably dead or, looking up at the moon and you're looking at it too. Nope. But anyway, let's move forward with this because AJ Styles and Amos came out. They were talking trash, and well, AJ doesn't like Riddle, so let's put them in the ring together. Cool. I love the chemistry that AJ and Riddle have. It makes perfect sense. What does not make sense is having them wrestle for the 40th time. That to me does not make sense, but let alone that I was able to stay, in my living room watching Raw. AJ Styles defeated Riddle in the most bizarre way. Riddle got up on the second apron and fucking looked at Almas. Looked at I don't know how you guys say it. Omos? Yeah, I think it's Omos. I think it's how we say Omos. If I keep saying Omos, I'm very sorry. It's Omos. I will try to get it right, So Omos essentially distracted him, allowing AJ to hit him with the Styles Clash. Of course, yeah. And of course, I know I'm in my basement and, a different, and it's because, of course, there's a lot of things on the table that my mom has not cleared yet. I should clear it, but I didn't want to ruin anything. So we're downstairs in the we're down here in the room. So Actually, or maybe I should not get, the roof. I don't know. I'll focus on it later. So moving forward, we then got Rhea Ripley in a rematch. 50-50 booking. Rhea Ripley, um, Nikki Ash in a match with each other because I don't know, 50-50 booking. But this is even 50-50 booking in my eyes. Like let's just look at what we saw within 4 weeks. So we saw Charlotte Flair defeat Nikki Ash, okay? Then you had a no holds bar match for the Raw Women's Championship, mind you, because it's whatever they put, like, championship contender. No, that shit is worthless. That fucking whole ordeal of a championship, contender shit, like, don't, that's stupid. Okay, first off, that is fucking ridiculous. I don't ever want to see that pop up ever again. Nobody gets a title opportunity, even if they won. Like, if that was the case, Charlotte would have got a title match. So Charlotte defeated Nikki Ash, and they're like, "Oh, Charlotte, you're gonna be in a no holds bar Raw Women's Contender match," when it's actually for the fucking championship. So Nikki Ash won that one to retain the title, obviously. Then you got Rhea Ripley versus Nikki Ash again, and Charlotte fucking gets involved. What? Charlotte gets involved in this fucking match. And it's like, I'm just scratching my head thinking, like, what? Where's the 50-50 booking? You had Charlotte win, then you had Nikki Ash win. So then, last week you're supposed to have Rhea Ripley win. And then you do Nikki Ash for this week. Well, no. We got totally fucked over because not only did they kind of fuck this whole up, they had Charlotte win, then Nikki Ash, then they had a fucking no contest, and then they made it Rhea Ripley wins. They're booking their champion. They're Raw. Writers on Raw, anybody on Raw. If you watch this, I want to be straight up. You're booking Nikki Ash poorly. Okay? I love the gimmick, and I don't know why a lot of people don't, a lot of people just don't like the, people out there just don't like the gimmick. But I like it. The only problem I do have is that you shouldn't have made her champion just yet. Okay? Now, of course, what should have happened is that you should have had Nikki Ash cash in. You should have. Should have had her cash in. Like, I agree with the part. The cash should have happened. The cash in really should have happened. You keep the cash in. But had her lose the title to Charlotte. Then you got Charlotte versus Nikki Ash versus Rhea Ripley. Here's the problem I do have with this, and the reason is because Nikki Ash is getting booked poorly. Charlotte had the championship, and it was the only reason they had for it was that she wanted more reign. They wanted to have her have more reigns. Fucking stupid. You don't have the WWE doesn't have the time, to do that. You're wasting. It's wasting. That's wasting. Championship reigns, short championship reigns, especially for fucking Charlotte. You gave her 24 hours. Within 24 hours, she lost the Raw Women's Championship. And you start to book Nikki Ash poorly. I want to make it very clear in this stream before I get to the predictions, SummerSlam predictions video for when I get to Saturday and I start predicting. And I want to make this very clear. I'm going to say it on here too. There is no doubt in my mind, based off of the poor booking that WWE has done for Nikki Ash, and the fact that they made her not only lose to Rhea Ripley, but get fucked over in the 50-50 booking with Rhea Ripley, and the fact that they lost on Raw, Nikki Ash double lost. She lost to Rhea Ripley and she lost to Charlotte with Nia Jax tagged along. So based off the booking of our Raw Women's Champion, Nikki Ash is highly likely to lose the Raw Women's Championship, and it's going to be to Charlotte. Rhea Ripley will eat the pin, but and it's because she's the new Asuka. Like, and we'll get to what happened to Asuka in the, after this. But really, Rhea Ripley's gonna eat the pin. And I mean, WWE has not built the story around diversity. It is even if you look at the whole, like at the start of this all, yes, when Charlotte Flair cut that promo after their match, and whatnot about the rematch or whatever, fucking it was to show diversity. And I was like, okay, if they're gonna go in the route of making the story about how Nikki Ash is a different, breed in the WWE, Charlotte's the queen, Rhea Ripley's the nightmare, and you have the superhero, or almost a superhero. They really need to get rid of that name. She's champion. And if you have someone's name almost a superhero, let's think about it. She's Nikki, almost a superhero, but she's Raw Women's Champion. Won't that already make her a hero? If she's champion, like almost a super, like it makes sense. Almost a superhero, so she's almost close to winning the title, but she already has the title. So what's the point of having almost a superhero? And what's the point of saying nearly as a superhero? Like it just doesn't make sense. I just change her name to Nikki Hero. So I don't know. I think the gimmick that Nikki Ash is going with is just to get the kids audience, the kids' attention. She wants to do it for the little kiddies. Yeah, I get it, but like the booking though, you can't like adults and members of the wrestling community know that Nikki Ash is getting booked poorly. She just is. If you just look at it, you had her lose to Charlotte, then you had her win. Okay, win the Raw Women's Champion, then retain. Then you had her end up in a no contest against Rhea Ripley because Charlotte interfered. Then you have her this week lose to Rhea Ripley. Then you have her lose big time against fucking teaming up with Rhea Ripley, but then losing to Charlotte and Nia Jax. Like, this is why WWE's booked Nikki Ash poorly. They don't know how to book her. They don't. Like before when Nikki Cross, the only reason they got rid of the Nikki Cross gimmick was because Karrion Kross. They didn't want to have two different crosses. One with a C and then one with a K. But again, what the fuck? This is stupid. So, again, when we get to my predictions video on Saturday, I will touch up on who I think, or what my mom thinks, because my mom is predicting SummerSlam. But in this little whole show, she ain't predicting NXT TakeOver. I am. My mom gets to predict SummerSlam because it's her birthday. And I will tell you, I made her predictions very clear, and she still has 3 matches to predict, but I'm going to predict 2 of them her birthday, so it's like, I get to actually be a part of this prediction. But again, on Saturday, I'm gonna tell you guys her predictions, which are basically going to be mine. But I'm also going to tell you who I think, because again, I'm going with my mom's guts. I'm going with my mom's predictions. So if she gets any wrong, it's on her. It's not on me. But I'm going with them. I'll have to back them up somehow. Moving forward, after this fucking disaster of a match, we then got another disaster of a match as we fucking, we cut to Drew McIntyre and versus Veer and Shanky in a handicap match. And the rule here, if Veer and Shanky win, no sword at ringside. No sword at ringside. Okay? No sword with him. But if Drew McIntyre wins, Shanky and Veer cannot be at ringside during the match. Yet he can still bring the sword. I thought this feud was actually going to be pretty good at the start of it. I thought this feud was going to be so great, but they fucking ruined it in the beginning when they had, Shanky and Veer when they had Shanky and Veer just get involved into this feud. Like, let it be between McIntyre and fucking Jinder, okay? Like, I love having Shanky and Veer as Jinder's, little henchmen, but, always getting, kind of being in there and kind of getting a little bit involved, but, like, not the whole entire fucking feud. Because that's literally what it seems to me. They've been involved in the entire fucking feud. And it sucks. Like, why don't you just have it be a no DQ match? Like, Jinder versus fucking Drew, no DQ. Wouldn't that be better? sword versus chair, and we'll see what happens. Obviously he can't use a real sword, but it'd be nice just to see what we get. Jinder's probably gonna win because they built Drew McIntyre to be this whole badass, and they haven't done anything with Jinder as far. But Drew's likely gonna win. It's kind of like the Damian Priest like prediction, I made with back in May with fucking Backlash, Damian Priest and The Miz, where it's like, they haven't done anything real with The Miz, so they just make The Miz win, or we keep Damian Priest. But in this case, it's kind of almost the same thing. So Jinder's really, not doing much. Therefore, Drew would win, But I don't know. Let's move on, because speaking of Damian Priest and The Miz, we got Moist TV for you. No more Miz TV, Moist TV. And it featured our host, Johnny Drip Drip, with The Miz as a special guest. And you know what? Why don't we make Moist TV a little drippy when we have The Miz take on Damian Priest, which we've seen how many times? Too many. Damian Priest ended up defeating The Miz. And also going back, Drew McIntyre did defeat Veer and Shanky before cutting a little promo, which actually made a little kind of sense after the words. But, again, I don't care. Damian Priest will face Sheamus at SummerSlam. It's for the United States Championship. And there are a lot of rumors that go around. And I will discuss those rumors actually in this video around SummerSlam that I have heard. Moving forward, we've had Mansoor defeat Mace. Now, obviously, the 50-50 booking working. T-Bar defeated Ali last week. So we have Mansoor and Mace this week. So, I mean, I don't know what we're going to expect. All I know is that we just have, we just got, 50-50 booking. Mansoor, Mace, it's whatever. Randy Orton defeated Amos via disqualification. WWE, why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to the fans? Fans. Why do you do this to us? Why does there always have to be a distraction and a disqualification in your fucking show? It's not. I just wanted to see Amos and Randy Orton fight for at least 5 minutes. Hell, make it 4. This match only lasted for 3 fucking minutes. You know how poorly that is? That's bad. It makes Amos look like a fuck. It doesn't make Amos look like an idiot. It just means that WWE doesn't put their fucking faith into that giant. It reminded me of Big Show versus Randy. And that they could go fucking more than 3 minutes. The disqualification came with AJ Styles kicking him in the gut and the referee turning around and seeing this. Which I don't know if that was intentional. The reason I say that is because the referee turned his back and saw it and then ring the bell. I don't think he was supposed to see it. I think the match was actually supposed to go on for 4 minutes. But they just ended disqualification. But they were a backstage interview with Riddle, which made sense to this. You had Riddle, getting upset and thinking he's just going to leave. But then he realizes he can't just leave Randy. He's got to go back and get his bro. So as we get the disqualification, he's getting 2-on-1 assault. Riddle comes out, runs past AJ Styles, like ducking a clothesline from AJ, going into the ring, kicking Amos down, knocking down Riddle, Riddle knocks down AJ, and, the RK Bro is back together. And Randy, cuts a little promo after this saying, as much as I RKO'd you, I tried to, do all this, you still come back. You've earned my respect. So, I'm afraid to say it, but RK Bro is back, and he was happy, and he hugged him. Randy hugged him. It reminds me like these two are the best pairing since Rock and Sock Connection, and the hug reminds me of Tony Stark when he hugs, Peter Parker. You know, Riddle tries to hug, Randy doesn't. You're not there. We're not there yet. And then we're there. We're there. They're there. And Riddle's just happy. And Riddle is like, you know what? Well, with this new pairing, why don't we get some more good news? Since we're a tag team again, we want to challenge for those Raw Tag Team Championships. And I told you it was going to happen. I told you. Just had to give it some time. I had to give it some time. I told you it's going to happen. And AJ and Omos are going to lose. Omos. AJ and Omos are going to lose. I'm so very sorry. Rematch. And the reason I say Raw's on replay is and it's the title of the video, is because we got another match. The same one we saw last week. You guys remember Karrion Kross, Jeff Hardy? Yeah, you remember Karrion Kross, Jeff Hardy, like about maybe last month? Yeah, that happened. Again, Karrion Kross put him in the straitjacket, submission. But before then, Jeff Hardy was backstage, interview, and then boom, an attack from behind. So, what the hell? You really can't escape Jeff Hardy, Karrion Kross having a little feud, and they have nothing for Jeff Hardy. They really do. They don't. But they're keeping him. I told you guys about this. They're keeping Hardy because what else do they have with him? What else? They're keeping him because fucking they don't want him to go to AEW. It makes perfect sense. So they have him lose to Karrion Kross. And when we get to my predictions video, I'll explain to you about Karrion Kross. Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax defeated Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash. That was the other women's match I was talking about. They didn't actually have Tamina on the show. They didn't have Asuka. They didn't have Naomi. What the fuck? But we do see some hints at Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler breaking up. That was also another thing that happened back, with The Miz and John Morrison. They kind of almost broke up because John Morrison left, wouldn't give Miz the dripstick. They talked backstage, but they made up. But also in the back as they're talking, the New Day showed up and they were like, "Ooh, let's plug in our merch, buy our shirts." Oh my god, it was kind of funny, and I liked it. Before we get to the main event, there was something that I want to bring up into this, and I wanted to discuss. I thought about this yesterday too when I was watching Raw. I came down to the basement after the Rhea Ripley and defeating Nikki Ash because I wasn't gonna watch anymore. After that first match, they had Nikki versus Rhea. I was done. So I came down here, put it on, and this is what I saw. Reginald was in a different place. Reginald was in a outside of the WWE, different, in a park, doing some flips, as you see Tozawa and R-Truth in different costumes. This is funny to me. And I know you probably will disagree, some people would disagree, but maybe you will disagree if you see the light within what I think. Everybody hates the 24/7 championship, including me. I hate it. I wish it was gone. Like, a lot of people hated it the minute they saw the title and looked, they were nasty, they didn't like it. When R-Truth held the title, nobody cared, no, it was irrelevant because there was no, story with it. Again, a lot of people said either dump the title or make the title more interesting. Well, let's look at the title. Let's try to break it down. The 24/7 championships rules is the championship can be won anywhere, anytime, any place. And I love that I love to use the rule 24/7. Let's use that rule. 24/7 is one whole day. Every day. 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. Anywhere, any place, anytime. It doesn't necessarily have to take place in the ring, nor does it have to take place in the building. It can be anywhere. And that's what WWE should focus it on. Instead of having Reginald be on Raw, he should be in different places, and we should see more people, kind of like Drew Gulak or R-Truth and Kazawa and anybody else who's in the back is not utilized. They should go after the title. Even women should go after the title. The women who are not being utilized. Have Dana Brooks go after the title. Hey, you know, like let the intergender, kind of thing rule being put into play. Let it be taken. Like let it happen. I think that's better. So I think Reginald going to this different place is better. I think going out in the public, you know, is better. If you want to have a 24/7 championship match, yeah, you can have it in the ring and have it suspended for a little bit before, once the match is over, boom, you can have, go right back to it. And then, like, you could have backstage interviews with the champion and then just see him, running off from other competitors. Like, again, utilize the 24/7 rule and have it be anywhere other than the WWE arena. Unless you want to, like, if you want to have a match with 24/7 championship for the 24/7 championship, use it. Like, have it be utilized, have it be, different places. If you want to have a match with it, put it back in the arena. You want to cut a promo with it? Yeah, but be in, have it be in the arena. But have the championship maybe change hands, or have them try to run around in different places out in public. Like that is what makes it a little bit better. Okay, that's what makes the cinematic viewpoint different from anything else. It's really better like that. Another video for that Elias is dead 2017. 4 years old Elias. Wow. New character development. Haven't even seen Jackson Rikers. Nobody wants to see him. So they try to build up Elias. Oh my god, man, this is so fucking corny. Anyway, Goldberg takes out Bobby Lashley with a passive spear. Let me just tell you, that's what WWE wrote. That's what WWE put on their fucking shit here. You know what I would have put? I would have put Goldberg took out Bobby Lashley with a weak ass spear. That spear was weaker. It was weaker than fucking Bobby Fish trying to defeat Roderick Strong. Maybe a little bit of poor choice of words. I'm sorry, I do miss Bobby Fish, but Bobby Fish was kind of weak, when he came back. They booked Bobby Fish poorly, and that's what basically I'm trying to say. I'm basically trying to say Bobby Fish was booked poorly, and they just they just tried to bring up the fucking Undisputed Era shit. It didn't work. Not for me. So Goldberg took Bobby out with a fucking failure of a spear because that spear was so short. He literally tried clotheslining him, then he just went under and then speared him. He didn't even spear him; he just tackled him. And the reason Goldberg came back is he had a purpose. He wanted his son to see him wrestle. Ain't that a little bit? Ain't that a little bit of a Isn't that a little bit of a contradiction, or kind of like Isn't that I see it as a contradiction and makes no sense. And the reason for this is because if you guys remember back when, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg went on, Gage was there. Young old Gage. He was in the audience watching his dad wrestle. So it's not like he's not like his son didn't watch his dad wrestle. He did. But his son's now older, and he wants to see his dad wrestle because possibly, this is just a guess, Gage might want to go into the business where his father worked. He maybe want to be a wrestler like his dad was. He's a football player. I think he's out of high school now. I think he's around my age. Hell. But Bill Goldberg, it just shows that Bill Goldberg is a good dad. Okay? Billy Boy is a good dad. But don't ever try to, contradict yourself and say that you came back in the ring to defeat, you came back in the ring to have Gage see have your son see you wrestle. Your son's seen you wrestle. Now, I think the whole toning the part is not only he wanted to show that he's a good father, but he also wanted to show Bobby Lashley um Bobby Lashley that anything can be achieved when applied. Meaning that when you put your mind to something, you can achieve it. You can achieve this goal. Bobby Lashley is going to wreck Goldberg at the pay-per-view. My mom says otherwise. Goldberg wants his son to watch him win a championship. Well, if that were the case, wasn't your son there to see you defeat Kevin Owens? Hell, The Fiend? I don't think so. So maybe he wants to show his son that he can win a championship and that he can achieve shit when there's something applied. His goal is to have his son watch him win a championship. Goldberg ain't gonna win this championship, and I don't think anybody else wants to. And if if Goldberg does win, guys, it's not gonna be nice because people will rant. That was it for Raw. That was everything for Raw. So you know what that means. We move on to NXT. But before we do, please thumbs up, thumbs medium, thumbs down for how Raw was. I'm gonna start doing this now because I think you guys should really, you know, tell me how you liked. You tell me if you liked Raw. I didn't. I'd give it a fucking down. It was a bumpy ass roller coaster that just did not blasphemy. I don't know if I use the word right. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But before we move forward, I just wanted to know how you guys feel. Up, thumbs medium, thumbs down. I gave it a thumbs down. I think it was bad. Wasn't for me. But before we move forward again, I always do this. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, leave a like, comment down below. I also added share this live stream with some of your other YouTubers when they see my content. And also turn on those post notifications so you'll never miss any wrestling content from me. Time for some NXT. As NXT rolls on, we recap what happened last week. Now, of course, we get Ilya Dragunov versus Roderick Strong. The reason for this is because Kushida was not medically cleared to compete. Therefore, we have Roderick Strong issuing an open challenge. So, who wanted to face Roderick Strong? And Ilya Dragunov is probably one of my favorite UK wrestlers. I think he's probably one of my favorite UK wrestlers. I don't know, even though he's Russian, I don't give a fuck. I like him. There should be more wrestlers, UK wrestlers like him. Strong, powerful, Moscow, kick or knee or what. I love him. He's a fucking great wrestler, and he won this match against Roderick Strong. So, yes, I did like this match. Of course, Roderick Strong was going to lose if Kushida was, not injured. And I really question, then what was the point of making the match happen for next week if Kushida was injured? You could have had Malcolm Bivens say that, he's a coward. He just got himself injured while he's trying to be the next Bailey. That would have been a deep fire. That would have been deep fire. But after this, of course, we got I even watched this exclusive backstage, and we had LA Knight hire Josh Briggs, pay Josh Briggs to beat up Cameron Grimes for me for NXT TakeOver $36 million championship match. And Cameron Grimes got LA Knight a drink at this time, and he came back. Here's your water. Here's your water, Knight. Oh, great, thank you. And this is your opponent for tonight. See ya. Josh Briggs did not get paid because he lost to Cameron Grimes. And Cameron Grimes had enough of it. He even got back. There was a backstage part where he was like, he's not a butler anymore. He took off his shirt. So he's going back to Cameron Grimes. Fired up, pumped up. I can't wait for it again. I've always been beside Cameron Grimes for all of this. I always wanted Cameron Grimes to win. So now it's going to happen. Teddy DiBiase was there at ringside as well during this. And towards the end, when Cameron Grimes won, LA Knight kind of, I think, beat him, punch him. So there's that. There was one match, and I knew this. Okay, I wanted to call it out in front of everybody. Okay. I wanted to call it out in front of everybody. So I was going to predict that we would see a match at TakeOver, and it was going to be between the Garganos. It was going to be The Way, Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae taking on Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis. And with the news that Candice LeRae is pregnant, that means that we're not gonna get that match. It's not happening, unfortunately. So instead, in prompt Dexter and Indy Hartwell to take on Robert Stone and Jesse Cameo. And yeah, Index won, and I knew it was gonna happen. I was gonna even go Index. I'm part of. And after this, Indy went to Beth Phoenix. She got a ring, and she proposed to Dexter Loomis. And Dexter Loomis shook his head. Yes, Indy put the ring on his finger. So Dexter Loomis and Indy Hartwell are married. Yay! Oh, I love this story. It's about love and everything. I'm happy for them both. It is really great. Um, so he showed off the ring. It was nice. They kissed. Oh my god, it was beautiful. So I'm happy. Carmelo Hayes versus Duke Hudson was next, and Carmelo Hayes. I'm a Carmelo Hayes fan. After he did the whole John Cena ruthless aggression shit, yeah, same energy. I was behind him, and my God, we're gonna get next week Carmelo Hayes versus Odyssey Jones, and whoever wins is going to get a chance to choose is going to go for a championship of their choosing. So this is going to be pretty interesting because we're going to either see Carmelo Hayes, maybe go for the NXT championship. One of those men are probably going to go for the NXT championship. But I could see him going for the North American championship as we only see um, the feud between Isaiah Scott and Santos Escobar rise up. You know, keeps going, keeps rising, keeps growing. MSK defeats Imperium for the NXT Tag Team Championships. They retain. MSK retains this, and it's because of the distract. Walter came in and was going to distract him, and he was going to lose the match. But Ilya Dragunov came in, hit him with a forearm. But again, Walter is too powerful and strong, and he fucking literally throws Ilya Dragunov down to the ground. So MSK was able to counter this and pull off the victory against Imperium. We then obviously, but before this, we got a kind of interview, word of word, backstage. We've seen them. It was between Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez before their NXT Women's Championship match at TakeOver 36 on Sunday. And these two women, obviously, talked about it, the truth and the lie. The lies point out the truth, and Raquel Gonzalez really thinks that, she has grown and Dakota Kai is nothing than a lackey. She's nothing more than a sidekick. Quote, sidekick. Because she did say that to her. She called her a sidekick. And Dakota Kai is like, you are not just gonna go there, right? You're not just gonna go there, huh? You're just gonna go there, aren't you? Yep, she went there. But Dakota Kai points out the truth, and I believe it. Of course, if you guys do remember, if you don't remember, we had the you had the women's Mae Young Classic, and yes, believe it or not, Raquel Gonzalez was there, and Raquel Gonzalez um, was in her, Texas. She had a little Texas gimmick, but she was brought in by Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai saw this, and she wanted, Raquel Gonzalez to be a part of, a little team stable. And then she had to turn heel. They both turned heel, and Dakota Kai wanted to be the big star, but Raquel Gonzalez grew in popularity. And Io Shirai, was a champion at the time, and it was supposed to be Dakota Kai to challenge for the championship, you know? But instead, Io Shirai chose Raquel Gonzalez because Raquel Gonzalez is seen more as a threat than Dakota Kai is. So that's why you see Io Shirai pick Raquel Gonzalez. And ever since then, Dakota Kai has been pissed off that she wasn't chosen and Raquel was, leaving Dakota Kai in the dust, especially when it was supposed to be Dakota Kai to stand next to Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. So, and this is literally like the Shawn Michaels and Diesel's kind of story, we get, you know, and I love that they decide to do this. It was perfect. It was executed perfectly. It was great. I loved it. So more of this should happen. Um, I just can't wait for it. I can't wait to see what else will occur during this. And I can't wait for the match to happen. You know, it's gonna be great. You then have that's crazy. You got Samoa Joe coming out here talking about how the venom on his tongue. When the venom on his tongue is it's not worth. I guess he's trying to say it's not worth talking about Karrion Cross, and there's no time for talking. These men want to brawl. Karrion Cross, get your ass out here. Let's fight. So they do that. They come out here, Karrion Cross, fucking brings insecurity. And it's so funny because the crowd was saying, "Where is Scarlett?" Chanting that, "Where is Scarlett?" And Karrion Cross was probably getting pissed off at this, and understandable because it's his wife. I mean, Scarlett is his wife. Like, if you guys did not know that, like, just my God, Again, so he was like, he's gonna bring security out here and shit like that. You know what I mean? Oh my God, does the light get brighter in here? I don't know if you guys saw that, but I feel like it got brighter in here. Anyway, um, they brawled with the security out, and all. And Joe was on fire. He shoulder bumped Karrion and started beating him up. Even beat up security and threw him out. And then he ran and he dove out on them. And he started beating him up, throwing him and shit. He was pounding on him. And Joe looked a little bit, like, he didn't want to, he wasn't going hard on him. You know what I mean? I know Joe's big, but he's also kind of like in the short range. So again, I don't know. Karrion Cross got the upper hand, throwing him into the steel steps. Then he was about to fucking hit him with the I think it's called Saisudo or some um I forget I forget what it's called, but it was like it's just a suplex. They were gonna throw him over, but Joe countered. And he threw him into the wall. And the full fucking wall fell. And Joe went out and he tried to block off security so he couldn't come in and get him. So he then goes pounding on Karrion Cross. Was like, beat his ass. He beat his ass. Kick his ass, bro. And what happened is that security obviously got Joe, holding him up. And then fucking Karrion Cross comes in with this big tackle and boom, knocks out the whole fucking wall, knocking out both men. And no security, no nothing's going to happen this Sunday. And both men were knocked out, So it's going to be a big, big match that's going to happen at here. These two men are going to have a great match. I can't wait for it, you know. Um, but yeah, that was NXT. And I loved it. And I can't wait for tonight for AEW because we're gonna get the fifth labor of Jericho. I can't wait to sing his theme song with no Judas effect, no Judas music. My God, it's gonna be awesome. But guys, we need to move on to what is happening at what's going down. One of my predictions for this takeover, and I got them for you. So again, I'm predicting takeover right now. So let's get right into it. So again, the matches are simple. I don't know if this match is gonna happen. I still think they're gonna. I think they're gonna have, and I think so. I don't know if this is gonna be long. I think there's gonna be 6 matches. It still has to be announced. You know. Um, I don't know if this will be announced, but Isaiah Swerve Scott taking on Santos Escobar for the NXT. For the NXT North American Championship. I still don't know if that's going to be confirmed or not. But if it does happen, I'll let you guys know. Again, on the card, we only have 5 matches. So, that I'm aware of. 5 matches for this card. You have the NXT Championship, Karrion Cross versus Samoa Joe. You have Raquel Gonzalez versus Dakota Kai for the NXT Women's Championship. NXT UK Championship, Walter taking on Elena Dragunov. You have the 2 out of 3 falls, or the, quote, 3 stages of hell match. Kyle O'Reilly versus Cole. 3, the finale of the undisputed finale. And the match stipulations. The first one, traditional, just a regular pinfalls or submission. Second fall, street fight, and if necessary, a steel cage match. And then you have the $1 Million Championship. If Grimes loses, Ted DiBiase will become LA Knight's butler. So let's get to the predictions and who I think will win. So, in this one, I'm gonna go from top to bottom, and this is if it does happen. So let's say that Isaiah Swift Scott versus Santos Escobar does happen at the pay-per-view. We see, Hit Row getting, trampled on and attacked and all this and that. And we've seen a lot of different um comeuppance of, Isaiah Swift Scott, trying to be, more of this good, good guy, I guess. I think they wanted Hit Row to be a heel faction, you know, but again, it does, but doesn't work, of course, you know. And the reason I say it doesn't work is because really, like, I mean, the crowd got behind them once they did the Hit Row cipher, you know. But of course, they wanted to make Sanchez Escobar this, big, bad, I guess, kingpin. So I'm okay with that little role for him. As for the match alone, in this type of sense, who's coming out the victor if the match does happen or is announced? I believe that Isaiah Swift Scott should take the victory here, retain the title. Of course, it makes perfect sense. He's defeated um Bronson Reed. Unfortunately, he's got released, but he defeated Bronson Reed to gain that championship, and he hasn't had any title defenses with it. So this title defense would be his first one, and I don't want to lose my championship in this title defense. So, especially from holding it and not defending it or doing anything with it, other than other than having a gold fucking grill or fucking burning a mask, I would want to retain this North American Championship, and I thought we were gonna get, and I thought we were just gonna get Santos and Bronson, but we didn't get that. So I guess here would be the matchup we get: Isaiah Swift Scott versus Santos Escobar. My option stands: Isaiah Swift Scott would retain. And the reason for this really has to do with the fact that we haven't seen him have any title reigns or any defenses, and this would be his first one. So having him lose this would not make any sense. It would just mean that we let him gain the championship to hold on to it, to not do anything with it, to then lose it. That makes no sense to me. So the match happens. Scott needs to win. He needs to retain. Moving on. I've always been behind this, and I've always will be. Cameron Grimes will win the the $1 million championship. I'm going to say the $40,000 million champion. Nah, it's the $1 million championship. Cameron Grimes will win it. LA Knight, it was supposed to show that, LA Knight wins the first time, he wins the second time, he becomes the butler, he gets him out of the situation and this and that. But Cameron Grimes is going to win the $1 million championship, and I just can't wait to see it, man. He's going to win it. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be singing his theme song. Yeah. Now, let me tell a little story about a man named Grimes. I can't wait for it. It's going to be great. When it comes to the Undisputed Feud or the Undisputed Finale, I think it's safe to say that we need to have a standardized way of how we victor winners. So we need three. If it's going to be 6 matches, we need 3 heels to win, 3 heroes to win. So I gave you one. I gave you another. Let's get on to who else I think is going to win. Okay. Let's move on to the Undisputed Era finale. When it comes to that match alone, when it comes to the pinfalls or submission, I think it's going to be, and I don't know if I wanted to change it up, but if I remember correctly, we had an unsanctioned match, which Kyle O'Reilly won. It was kind of like a street fight, but Kyle O'Reilly won that. Then you had Adam Cole win the pinfall submission. So if we go in reverse and reverse everything back to where we started, we start off with a normal match, which it originally started with at Great American Bash. Kyle O'Reilly gets that victory after losing to Adam Cole at Great American Bash. So Kyle O'Reilly, it makes up for that. So Kyle O'Reilly wins that match. The street fight. Adam Cole wins this, and it makes up for the unsanctioned match they had here, meaning that it leads to the steel cage match. And my victor in this one, and you guys will probably be like, what? Adam Cole wins this match. And the reason is because it leaves people questioning. I think I'm lagging a little bit. Okay. It leaves people questioning. If you had Kyle O'Reilly win, it just proves and shows that Adam Cole, he doesn't need Kyle O'Reilly doesn't need Adam Cole to be a big star. We've already established, and that's the thing. WWE, or well, NXT has already established that Kyle O'Reilly doesn't need Adam Cole to be a big star himself. They've already established it by having him win the unsanctioned match. So Adam Cole, they did the whole Great American Bash match because they just needed something else on there, and it was because it was continuing. So this will fucking end it. And again, Adam Cole winning leaves people questioning, what's next for Adam Cole? Well, in my eyes, Adam Cole will then start up a feud with Joe, if Joe sticks around in NXT. So Adam Cole winning would make sense. It would also question if he's going to stay in the WWE, he's going to stay in NXT, or he's going to be called up to the main roster, or is he going to leave? Is he done? Is he going to go with his what? Is he going to go with his girlfriend Britt Baker in AEW? I mean, the question still stands. My victory in this is Adam Cole, and it's because it will leave people questioning. Once Adam Cole cut that big promo on fucking Karrion Kross, you ain't Adam Cole, baby. You know what they do to guys like Adam Cole? They ring the freaking bell. Like that promo alone. Oh my god, I loved him ever since. He just made him more of a badass. And that's what I think Adam Cole is. He's a badass. He should be depicted as a badass in AEW. Or not AEW, NXT. But even if he goes to AEW, he should be depicted as a badass. So Adam Cole wins this match. I think Adam Cole will win it. It leaves people questioning, and it will also give us, more of a thing like where could, if he stays with WWE, will he be up in the main roster or will he stay in NXT? I think that he should stay in NXT and continue him as a badass. Have him go into a feud with Samoa Joe. Next, Walter versus Ilya Dragunov. I love Ilya Dragunov. He's longest reigning NXT UK champion. I want him to. But is he? In my eyes, no. That's why I choose Walter to retain. And again, like I said, we need three. If it's a six match for the card, three heels, three faces. So Walter retains makes sense to me in this match. And I can't wait for it. But again, it's going to be a great match. It's going to be kind of like Ciampa versus Walter, but it's going to be more gruesome. I can't fucking wait. I would like to see Ilya Dragunov win, but again, I can see Walter retaining. Raquel Gonzalez versus Dakota Kai. Of course, I would love Dakota Kai to win this fucking match. I would love her to win this match. But there's one little problem. If Dakota Kai wins, that means that we've built up this story so much. And looking based off of the story alone, I think Dakota Kai is right in her own right. If she does win, the story fits perfectly. She is the reason why Raquel Gonzalez is champion. Without her, if Dakota Kai did not pick up Raquel Gonzalez, from being, not utilized or, not as much as a big star as they wanted her to be, Raquel Gonzalez would not be Raquel Gonzalez. She wouldn't be NXT Women's Champion. So I would like to see Dakota Kai win this match. Unfortunately, that is not my analysis. My analysis and my logical predicting mind says that Raquel Gonzalez retains. And for this, I don't know what would be next, but again, it would be nice to see who else would defeat her. Who else can defeat her? And that's when it would be nice to have Raquel Gonzalez be a face. But again, Dakota Kai as a heel, taking the championship away from her. When she win it, she want to stand and deliver. All right. Yeah, she want to stand and deliver, and she's held it ever since. I don't know. I can see Raquel Gonzalez retaining and then having the feud continue. And then the next match, Dakota Kai wins. So, yeah. So yeah, Raquel Gonzalez will retain. That's my prediction. That's my analysis of the logic, you know, of being logical with this. Raquel Gonzalez retains. And we've already have 3 faces. If Isaiah Swerve Scott is the one to, if that match is made, and it's for the title, then yes, that match will happen. And Isaiah Swerve Scott will retain. Cameron Grimes will win. Raquel Gonzalez will retain. Walter retains. Adam Cole wins. And that leaves one more spot for a heel to win. And originally, I was going to say Samoa Joe wins. At this point right now, I just changed my prediction. Let me explain to you why I wanted Samoa Joe to win in the first place. So I originally had a thing in mind where if I became a WWE wrestler and I was on NXT, I want to be, and I'd work hard and build hard and be tough and, try to grow in height. I would want to be the man to defeat Karrion Kross and start a feud with him. Karrion Kross is just someone who, is depicted in a way as a monster heel. He's just this big, the wrecking machine, and to defeat him would be so great and would help, a lot. Be the man, be the badass in this. Karrion Kross was on Raw, and he's the NXT champion, and he's been on Raw for the past, who knows what. So that left me questioning, well, if that is the case, then wouldn't we want um don't we want if we're gonna send Karrion Kross to Raw, then Samoa Joe wins, right? He would win the title, he'd be the champion, and that's the story. He's Karrion Kross thinks he can do whatever he wants, da 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 da. But instead, we get fucking, um, we just get we get Joe as champion, and then his next opponent would technically be Adam Cole. So again, there's that. There's why, and the story makes sense with Joe winning. And to send fucking Adam Cole or send Joe, no, not to send Cross to Raw. But since I've already said we need if it's 6 matches, 3 heels, 3 faces to win, it technically doesn't have to be that. It can actually be 4 faces and 2 heels that win. Those heels being Adam Cole and Walter. But again, um Cross Cross retaining would imply that he's gonna still be on NXT, but also be on Raw. And then it leaves the question: who's gonna defeat Karrion Kross? Because I already think I know how they will play it out. Cross retains his championship here. He will then take on the winner of Carmelo Hayes and Odyssey Jones. Whoever wins that will then take on Karrion Kross. And I think Odyssey Jones should take on Karrion Kross. I don't think Carmelo Hayes will win. I'm an Odyssey Jones. I think I'm more of an Odyssey Jones fan than Carmelo Hayes, but I respect Carmelo Hayes a lot. Odyssey Jones should go and take on Karrion Kross. I think that's how it will go if he retains. And then we can set up if Adam Cole does sign another deal with NXT. Adam Cole, Samoa Joe, put them together. There's your feud. And I think it'd be a great ass feud. It'd be a fire feud. Samoa Joe, Adam Cole. And it reverts back to when Samoa Joe did put in that lock on Adam Cole. So, in this match alone, as much as I want to go Samoa Joe, I love the man. We're going to see some great, returns to some moves that Joe had. Back in the ring, Joe. It would make sense for the story to end with Joe winning the title. And Joe should win the championship, Put Cross on Raw. But then it leaves, then that means that Odyssey Jones wins the match and he will go and face for the North American Championship. If Carmelo Hayes wins, he'll challenge for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. It just, again, different outcomes can happen. But what logically makes sense to me? Which logical sense does it make for me to go with? Well, my logical sense says that Samoa Joe wins and or no, sorry, Karrion Kross wins. He retains the title. Odyssey Jones wins against Carmelo Hayes. Odyssey Jones is going to be the next opponent for Karrion Kross. Joe will then go into a feud with Adam Cole if Adam Cole resigns with the WWE, and that makes the most sense to me. And the reason for that is because we need Cole to be a part of WWE for this feud to happen, and it would make a lot of sense for Joe if Joe sticks around in NXT or whatnot. All right, but I can also see Joe winning. So I know it's going to be a little bit weird, but I'm going to do it, and you guys seen me doing it before. I predict Karrion Kross retains, but I wouldn't be upset if Joe wins. So the only one loss I would be willing to take in this whole card alone would be Kross losing the NXT title. I'd be okay with everything else. If Kross loses, that's okay with me. I'm perfectly fine with taking that loss. But I'm predicting Kross to win. You have Kross win, Carmelo Hayes loses this match, Odyssey Jones wins, and he challenges for the NXT Championship. Adam Cole resigns with the WWE. Samoa Joe wins the NXT Championship. Or no, they go into a feud. Sorry, they go into a feud. Now, say Adam Cole doesn't sign back with the WWE and he decides to leave the company and go to AEW. Well, then that means Samoa Joe's winning the match. Karrion Kross is going to Raw. Odyssey Jones or Carmelo Hayes. A 50-50 chance. One of them, if Carmelo Hayes wins, we're going to see him go up against for the Cruiserweight Championship. If Odyssey Jones wins, he's likely going to take on Samoa Joe, or he's going to look to take on the North American champion, which right now would be Isaiah Swerve Scott. And that's if they turn Isaiah Swerve Scott to a heel. So, that is my predictions. I want to also talk about a couple things. CM Punk is likely to come back on Rampage on Friday. Am I going to be happy? I hope we hear towards the end of the show or something. It will be cool. It will be awesome. And I can't wait. I fucking can't wait to see that happen. I cannot wait. I want that to happen. Who will he come out to? Who will he come out? When will he come out? I don't know. Will he come out in the beginning? Will he come out in the end? Again, I don't know. But CM Punk, a lot of people will be happy. I'll be happy to see it. It'll be nice. So, let's see something fucking happen. He could come out on AEW tonight. Who knows? But I think Rampage, he's coming out. I think he's coming on Rampage. And WWE won't mention CM Punk. Now, on to where Asuka is. I don't know where Asuka is. Where is Asuka? WWE, explain yourself. Where's Asuka? You've been hiding her all week. You got Rhea Ripley being the new Asuka now. Remember that triple threat match you did? You're doing it here again. She's going to eat the pin. Like, my God. Asuka needs to be shown on TV. I miss her. Maybe she's getting a break. Maybe she's taking a break. Maybe WWE's like, we're going to give you a break. You've been Raw Women's Champion for a long time, and you did carry. You, alongside Bayley, had carried, the COVID, era of WWE wrestling. So, again, yeah, we could take a break. Yay. I don't know. If you've seen her on her YouTube channel, she does have a YouTube channel, believe it or not. She's probably posting videos on there here and there. So that's good too. That's good to know. But yeah, I don't know when Asuka's gonna come back, but I hope, we haven't seen her since when was the last time we saw Asuka? She was in a match with I forget when she was in a match. Didn't we see Asuka? Oh my God. Was it Money in the Bank? Was that the last time we actually saw Asuka Money in the Bank? I think so. I think the last time we saw Asuka was Money in the Bank. I might be wrong about that, but yeah, I think I'm right about. I think I'm right about that. I think last time we saw her was Money in the Bank. Anyway, I got nothing else. That was Raw NXT reviews. That was my predictions for TakeOver. So I'll go through my predictions again. If it does happen, Isaiah Swift Scott retains the title against Santos Escobar for the North American Championship. Cameron Grimes defeats LA Knight for the $1 Million Championship. You got Adam Cole winning against Kyle O'Reilly in the saga. You got Adam Cole winning in the 1-on-1. Kyle O'Reilly in the street fight. Or no, wrong. Kyle O'Reilly wins the pinfall and submission. Adam Cole wins the street fight. Adam Cole either pins or escapes the cage. Walter retains the UK Championship. Raquel Gonzalez retains the Women's Championship. And Karrion Kross retains the NXT Championship. But I'm okay with Samoa Joe winning. I'm okay to be wrong on that prediction of Karrion Kross losing. But this was Raw NXT Reviews. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't, again, please hit the subscribe button, comment down below, turn on post notifications so you'll never miss a video. Please share this video if you can. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for WWE Theories. Maybe. Let's actually tell you guys who I want now. What do I want to do about who I want to talk about on WWE Theories? Who do I want to talk about? I forget who I want to talk about. I'll come up with some people. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been fun, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'll see you guys on Saturday.